Hi, I'm Wesley Willis, and you're watching Discover Texas. COVID-19 has made 2020 a hard year for the world. But here in the Rio Grande Valley, the Project Care Foundation is making things a little easier for the poor, sick, and elderly, with free delivery of food, medication, and other essentials. This is a special story that really shows the true spirit of Texas. So let's see if we can lend them a helping hand.
It's time to hit the road and discover Texas with Wesley Willis. Get ready to travel deep into the heart of the Lone Star State, meeting friendly folks and exploring fascinating places. Experience a way of life like nowhere else in the world as we uncover the rich history and culture of Texas. Discover adventure, discover excitement, discover Texas with Wesley Willis.
The Rio Grande Valley is home to 1.4 million people. One of the poorest regions in Texas, its population is 90% Hispanic, and almost a third of them don't have insurance. Obesity, high blood pressure, and diabetes are prevalent, and a large portion of residents live in multi-generational households. All these factors combine to create the perfect conditions for a pandemic. South Texas has been hit hard by COVID-19. The infection rate here is twice as much as the rest of the state, and hospital patients are 2 times as likely to die. Many of the most vulnerable, the sick and the elderly, are afraid to go out in public, even for food and vital medicine.
My name is Johnny Llanes. I am a family nurse practitioner. I've been doing that for a while, about almost 10 years. As a nurse practitioner, what I do is I go do home visits on the elderly people. And when the pandemic started, and really in March, when it was really just coming, and everybody was pretty much staying home and self-quarantined, the elderly people would call me and say, "Oh my God, we don't want to leave. We want to stay in, but I need my prescriptions. Oh, and I need groceries, and I don't want to go to the grocery store." So that's when I remember the day. It was a Friday. On March 13th, that's when I started. I posted it on Facebook. I said, Project COVID Care, that's what came to my head. And we are here to assist the elderly that need help with either prescription pickup or errands or groceries. So I posted it on Facebook and I got the first call. And so that morning, I went to Walgreens and picked up prescriptions for the lady that needed it. And then I started getting calls about people needing groceries and so then I said I need volunteers. So that's when we started getting the calls for people who wanted to help.
Any charity is only as good as its volunteers, and Project COVID Care has some of the most giving, dedicated people around.
It's always great as a citizen to give back to the community, to give back to folks, especially when they're needy. And in this situation, we found out there was a lot of folks that just didn't have the resources that were required of them, and so we jumped right in.
So when I heard about the Project COVID Care, about giving back for those people that were scared, it really warmed my heart because some of these people are just staying at home because they're scared. So now we're able to give food without having them to worry.
Well, my husband actually read an article about the charity, and he just really loved the idea, and we needed something, I guess, in such a tragic moment to do something good. So we decided to call JR and got a hold of him.
And so it just after that, we just started getting the members that needed help, and we started getting volunteers, and we had restaurants that were donating food, hot meals, and we were running errands and delivering groceries, and it just all came together, with the help of the volunteers and people donating monetary donations that helped us buy groceries to be able to deliver to them.
And this is all through Facebook.
All on Facebook. We're still doing it. We're still delivering groceries. We're still delivering produce. Anybody can, that needs it, they call us. They call my number, and I set up the deliveries.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask what the process was. So they basically just call you.
They call us and they tell me what they need and that they need groceries. So we go to Sam's or we go somewhere to get the groceries. Normally it's Sam's, and we buy bulk. of non-perishable foods, of course, because we have to, bring it home, and then we stuff the bags with the canned foods or crackers or fruit, whatever we can do that's non-perishable foods. We have a list of the areas, and we mostly do Hidalgo County, but I have gone to Cameron and Starr County as well.
So you're helping the entire valley with this?
Pretty much, yes, ma'am. Yes, we are.
Okay. That's awesome. And is it just, elderly folks, or is it families?
No, it started with elderly, but now we're doing families with children. The other day I had a family whose mother had COVID-19, and she has 6 kids, and they were really, really in need of food. So I went to the grocery store and bought everything that I know a family of 6 kids needed, and I was able to deliver everything. I left everything outside. The kids are okay, but the mother was staring through the window. She had COVID, and so I was able to do that. And so it's not just the elderly, it's the people that need it, whether disabled, children that need it, or the elderly. So we try to help everybody we can.
Well, and I know that you even mentioned school supplies for kids, that you were helping with that.
Yes, I had a call from a friend that's from Houston. She said, I know one of my friends' mother just passed away, and she left her 3 kids, and the 25-year-old son is the one in charge, and one of his sisters, the 12-year-old, is handicapped, and so she's bedridden, and he is the one in charge of now the house, the mortgage, everything, school, and they were in need of school supplies. And then I called him and I said, listen, this is who I am. I'm the founder of Project COVID Care and the Project Care Foundation, and we're here to help. So I know you need school supplies. So can I go pick you up and take you to Walmart and so you can buy what you need? And so that's what I did. I picked him up. We went to Walmart, and I'm a total stranger to him. He goes, I'm sure he thought, what is, this guy doing? Yeah. But I took him to Walmart. He bought everything he needed for his sisters. And then I took him home, and he was so happy that we were able to help him. And I said, well, you call us if you need anything else. That's why we're here, that people helping people. That's
your slogan.
Yeah,
right?
That's what it is.
Wow. And so, this has been going on since March. So how has it changed from beginning till now?
Well, at the beginning, of course, we had over 150 households that we were going to, and we had about 40 volunteers. And then as it started getting worse, I started losing some volunteers, not because they didn't want to help, but because they were scared to go out and get infected. Right. So as of now, I've got 10 volunteers, dedicated volunteers that are still helping me. And of course, we don't have that many members that we're seeing. I think about 40, or the new ones that call us. Whoever calls us will go help. But we're still doing what we started doing. We deliver groceries or run the errands or whatever they may need.
So I know you were personally affected by COVID. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
I was on July the 8th. I was diagnosed with COVID-19, and and I always thought I wouldn't get it because I'm so careful. I was so careful at work and everything, but I did. I tested positive. I had a cold and a cough. I said, I'm going to go test. And it was positive. And that moment, I came home. I was like, okay. It was a fear, of course. Being a medical professional, I knew, the outcome, what could happen to me. But after 5 days taking the medication, I actually felt great. It wasn't until the 8th day that I got really sick. I could not breathe. It's again, unless you've been through it, you don't know how scary and horrible it is to have all these symptoms that you've never had. I never had gotten sick before, not like that. And knowing that people were actually not making it and dying from it, that was my biggest fear. It was a scary journey, but I survived it, and I know I survived it because I know that the Lord wants me to continue this foundation and this project to help others that need it. And that's why I think I survived it, because I'm very high risk.
And what advice can you give to people who might be watching this?
My advice is number one is listen to what they tell you. Social distance. You have to do social distancing. You have to wear your mask, no matter what. You got to wash your hands and avoid large crowds. And the moment that you feel sick, get tested. If you're in doubt, get tested. You know, because you can survive this if you follow the instructions. And so, thank God I did survive this. And now I'm back on, back to work and back to doing the Project COVID Care deliveries.
Which is great.
Which is great, yes.
And what precautions are you taking for your volunteers that are helping?
Good question, because everybody asks that. Of course, they have to wear gloves, they have to wear masks. We don't make contact with the member that we deliver to. We call them in advance. We tell them we're going to leave everything at the doorstep. Don't come out until we leave, but we'll watch you. And that's what we do.
Now, of course, there's inherent risk with everything we do in life. Jumping in that vehicle and just driving into town to get groceries. There's always something there. But if we live life scared with anxiety, it will not help us be productive. So we need to set fear aside, especially in moments like this, to help other folks.
I think you have to kind of put yourself out there if you want to help. There's always going to be a risk, but there's people with greater needs than yours, so you need to just go out and help.
And so what precautions are you taking while you're out volunteering?
Especially a face mask and practice social distancing. That is probably the utmost importance. Now, as soon as we would get back in the vehicle, apply some hand sanitizer and just use common sense. And that's all this takes, is just use common sense. And thank goodness, I'll knock on wood, never had an issue. But I think if you just practice those items, you should be okay.
I know that in the Valley, we love to hug and we love to kiss and we love to, but right now we're not doing that because we can't. We have to take precautions.
Yeah, safety first.
Safety first.
With all of these precautions in mind, I was ready to get to work. When we return, we'll hit the store for some shopping. Stay tuned.
Hold on to your hat. We'll be right back.
We arrived at our local Sam's Club with our shopping list ready. With so many families in need, it's best to buy in bulk. Sam's Club makes this easy and affordable. Johnny makes sure to buy several different types of food to appeal to a wide variety of preferences. The idea is to give people things they'd normally eat at home that are also easy to make. It's important to keep in mind that some of the members are diabetic. We loaded up the car and headed back to start sorting. After arriving back home, we sanitized our hands and got straight to work.
I wanted.
Oh, just
No. Let's do two.
two?
Today we'll be making 3 deliveries. We pack at least one of every store-bought item into each bag.
How many juices?
And I don't know what.
2 juices?
4.
4? How many oatmeal?
Oh, about 4 of those.
Catholic Charities also provides a huge service by donating fresh produce. Once the bags were ready to go, it was time for deliveries. These people are doing everything they can to stay safe. They appreciate every little bit of time and effort given by the volunteers.
It's been helping me a lot with my food. Sometimes I don't have to get up, I just open a can. They always give me a Clorox too.
Any products you need?
Yeah, Clorox and,
Yeah.
and like a brush, little towel.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, man.
absolutely.
I appreciate it.
It's kind of humbling to see, when you deliver to somebody who can't take care of themselves, you do that little thing, and it's humbling to see, their appreciation.
Thank you very much, and God bless you.
You as well. Thank you.
Gracias. We dealt with several families on a weekly basis, but there was one particular elderly lady that always comes to mind. Every time we showed up, she not only needed the food, but she also needed the company. And it was great to sit there. We knew if we showed up at her residence, we were probably going to be there in excess of an hour because she wanted somebody to just talk to. So it was neat because not only were you bringing those necessities, that food, but you were providing the companionship that she needed.
Giving back to the community is important, especially during this pandemic when so many have been affected. But even after COVID becomes a distant memory, there will still be people in need.
Do you see this foundation expanding even past the pandemic?
Yes, that's why the name started as the project Project COVID Care. But I am working on making it a nonprofit now, and so we changed the name. I changed the name to the Project Care Foundation. So we're able to help not only elderly or children, but homeless, whatever we can do to help during any type of pandemic or hurricane or any type of disaster. We're here to help.
And will there be like a website or a link where someone can sign up for donations or anything like that?
Yes, there is a website that we're working on. Okay. But right now, when I post on Facebook, there is a link at the bottom that says donate here. So you can go and donate at there on Facebook.
So right now, Facebook and word of mouth, the biggest things.
Yes, and my phone number. If you want to donate, then I would, we'll take monetary donations, we'll get grocery donations, we'll get clothes donations, whatever. And they can just call me at 956-802-7540. That's 956-802-7540. And if they call me, I'll give them the link to the donations.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
At its core, the Project Care Foundation is all about a few men and women who saw neighbors that could use a helping hand and then decided to do something about it. Their combined efforts are making a real difference in the Rio Grande Valley.
If you take the time to look around your own community, you're sure to find that there are people in need. And there are also people willing to take the time to help. In times like this, it's important for all of us to help one another out. Together, we can get through anything. I'd like to thank Johnny and everyone involved with the Project Care Foundation. I'm Wesley Willis, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed the show. And if you did, be sure to click the like button, share our content, and subscribe to our channel. And while you're at it, check out our Discover Texas Facebook page.